confident I can do that. And
Okay.
I don't think I could. It would be difficult for me to get a bank loan.
How soon do you think they'll approve it and then actually transfer the funds over to your account?
I don't know. Probably a week. I think a week or so,
Okay.
maybe.
Because I'm thinking, right? And you know what we could do then, and tell me if you like this. If you could do the deposit of 5K,
Mm-hmm.
we could start by setting up some of your ads, right? So setting up some campaigns. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when your funds transfer over, you said how much you're gonna borrow? 15, 20?
I could probably do. Ooh, I'll probably
Because you want
borrow
to also,
third. I'll do 30 because then
yeah,
I
you
don't.
want to have something like 3, 4 months in
Yeah,
an ad
yeah,
spend, right? Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. I think
So
I
if
can.
you
Yeah, I
could
can do that.
if you could do that, what we could do for you is we could line up the first week, right? For your
Okay,
campaign, and then
okay.
we could use the 5K to set that up. Now, once your cash comes in, we can turn on the tap for the actual ads. How does that sound?
That's good. That's good. I'm much more comfortable with that.
Right? Because we really care about you. We don't want you to just go all in and then have nothing, right? At the end of 1 month.
Appreciate
So,
that.
okay. So then, what would you like to do today?
Boom. Okay, so that's again quite a bit of redirections, but I like how Joe is getting a commitment, right? He's helping me out to. Can you see like how he's helping me out to solve the problem? Like I'm kind of stuck. Remember, we help people to see the possibility that they may not see themselves. You need to be comfortable doing that. And you can't paint a picture for others if your vision board is a fucking mess. How can you help other people see their visions when your vision is blurry, when it's a mist, when you lack clarity? You cannot bring clarity in other people's lives if you don't have clarity. And it's very difficult when you want to help them overcome some of these lower self issues when you're full of lower self issues yourself. It's virtually impossible. So when I listen to the way you close, I don't actually just pay attention to your techniques. I'm paying attention to what's behind the technique. What is causing those insecurities? What is going on there? It has nothing to do with the accent. It has nothing to do with language. It has nothing to do with the script. It all has to do with the self-image. Can you see how your self-image is so important? It always goes back to that. I always want to go back to fix the who. I fix the who, I fix the what. I need to go deep. I need to reach into your heart. I need to turn that, right? To unlock that greatness, unlock that self-confidence first. Then I can unlock the techniques and everything else. That's why it's called Unlock It. There's a reason why the book is called that. Because unlock it, it's however you define it. For some, it's sales. For some, it's personal power. For some, it's confidence. For some, it's social media influence. Like everybody is different. Everybody is different. Whatever the it means somebody, right? To you, what's important for them. Now, I think we're fine now. If we're doing after, we could handle it. But if we were to preempt it by write it down, by using reverse psychology, you already preempt it. So I'm going to demonstrate. So imagine if Joe's on the phone, it's 2 or 3. But I'm using reverse psychology. Anything below 5, what do? Reverse psychology. So by using it, this won't even come up. So let's try that. So if I do it wrong, at the end, Joe would say, "Oh, I think we're fine right now because you haven't done it properly in the beginning." Does that make sense? Right? If we're using reverse psychology, I would be already asking, well, let's just go back to the very beginning example, HTC. I'm selling HTC, right? So Joe, you were saying that you're making $2,500 a month right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's pretty good. Most people would be happy with that. What's wrong with that?
I mean, I've been stuck here for the past decade, right?
Yeah,
And I don't.
decades like what, 10 years? 10 years?
10 years, yeah,
Yeah,
stagnant,
so
no growth.
it's not a lot of time. I mean, you seem like a young guy.
Well, no, it's a lot to me because I've got a lot at stake. I need to increase my income like yesterday. I mean, that's really a lot I need to fix in my life.
Okay, pause off the role play. See, as I go deeper and I go deep, right? Dig up the pain. Can you see, as we continue this conversation, it is very, very difficult for him to go back, right? And say, oh, I'm fine. Like, it won't happen. It just won't happen. You dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It just won't happen. This is preemptive. Versus being reactive, we are preemptive. So that it won't happen. But if I don't do it, if I'm just doing show and tell, I'm talking about feature benefits. And then by the time so do you want to buy? And then Joe is like, oh, I think we're fine right now. Only happens when you're not asking questions, and only happens when you're not giving them what I call the breathing room. You got to give them space. You got to let them talk, right? Is this making sense? Yes. Okay. Is it possible at the end, right? I'm talking about my service. I'm talking about what I do, all the things I could do for him. And then Joe is saying that, oh, I want to start in a couple months, right? So I'm going to do reverse psychology. So remember, we qualified them in terms of needs. I qualified them in terms of what? Time, money, and decision maker, the 4 things. So let's say I have already qualified Joe in terms of needs. His needs are now 9 or 10. You with me? Right? 9 or 10. Now I'm going to transition into preemptive in terms of time. So needs are 9 or 10 already, assuming, okay? And then I might say something like this. So, Joe, what I'm hearing from you is that to be able to get that skill, to be able to develop that skill, to be able to kind of pay off some of the debt that you have, and in order to get your wife and your daughter back, that this is something that is important for you. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, you're spot on. That's exactly right.
Yeah, but you don't want to do this now, do you? I mean, maybe like a few months from now.
Well, I want to start. I want to start now if I can. You know, I just have to figure out how much it costs, right?
Yeah,
I would love to start.
Put aside the finance and the budget. We'll talk about all that. But tell me why this is so urgent for you.
Well, because my daughter's birthday just passed another year, and I haven't seen her. Like, it's another year I missed. Like, I don't want to miss any more years, right? I just.
Wow. And how old is she now?
Well, she's 4, so I've already missed 4 years of her life. Well, 3 actually. I spent the first year with her, but
you must see her from time to time. You haven't seen her at all?
Well, I lost custody, so I don't. Well, actually, not just that. I don't even have permission by the court to actually visit. I don't have visitation rights.
I'm sorry to hear that, and it must be tough for a father.
Yeah,
do you talk to her on the phone at all?
Well, my wife won't let me because she thinks I'm a shit dad. I don't blame her. That's why I need to. Like I said, I need to fix this. I have to turn my life around.
If we were able to help you do this, what would be the first thing you would do when you see your daughter?
Well, I mean, I'll bring plush toys, bears, candy, roses, everything, and then I give her a big hug and a big kiss on her cheek. I mean, I don't know what else I do. I probably cry, seriously.
I get emotional just hearing your story as well. And Joe, I want to help you do that. And in order to do that, tell me what would we need in order to help you get there.
Well, I need to first prove to the court that I had make a decent income and it's stable.
So I think that's a steady income, right?
Yeah, and above the poverty line, right? So it's above, I think, like 30K or 40K a year.
And you mentioned because you just got out of jail 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And is it difficult to find a job?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm stuck with this 2K job a month because the best thing I could find was being like a mechanic that they don't even care about me. They just make me. Yeah, it's life is bad, Dan. You don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Do you think when you are closing on the phone for what we teach, the HTC way, do you think people would care about your background? Do you think they'll be asking you for your resume? They're asking you about if you have any record?
As far as I know, I mean, what I love about what Dan said in the webinar is that we're helping people transform their lives by asking the right questions, right? So I don't think they will care. Yeah.
Yes. And one of the most powerful things that Dan teaches is that it is not about us, it's about the prospect.
I see. Yeah,
It's
well,
not
that makes sense.
about us and looking good. It's about being a facilitator and just asking questions to help people to make a decision that they already want to make. I mean, is that something you're comfortable with?
Very, very much so. I mean, it's something that will get my life back on track.
Pause off the role play. I could go on, but you notice when Sifu does that, do you think at the end I would get this objection? I want to start in a couple months. You see how it doesn't even come up? If you do this properly, XTC way, it doesn't come up. It would be, how can we do this right now? I want to move forward. I don't need to push. I don't need to justify if I do my job right in the beginning. This is preemptive. It won't happen. It's almost silly when they say that I promise you, it won't happen. I don't get these things. I don't get these objections because the pain is so great or the solution is so logical and rational, and it is the only choice that will get them from point A to point B. Like they would see themselves. I don't need to. I've already painted the picture. I've guided them with very, very good questions with finesse, and they say, "Yeah, I mean, no brainer." Oh, here's a good one. Simple. Okay, go ahead.
So, Dan, I just don't make decisions like this over the phone. I'm just not that kind of guy.
Well, Joe, I appreciate that. How do you usually make decisions of this nature?
Usually everything's like a paper trail, like facts. I prefer facts. Actually, I'm pretty old school.
Boom. That's it. Whatever it is, that's your answer. Because he doesn't like to make decisions. Also, how do you usually make decisions like that? Oh, I prefer this. I prefer that. Okay, just give them that. Then all you need to do, I like to use hypothetical. You notice a lot of time, suppose, right? Let's pretend. Write it down. I'm giving you the golden nuggets. Write it down. Write this down. Let's pretend and suppose. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying hypothetically. Let's pretend, suppose. Those are like some of my favorite ways of doing it. How do you usually make decisions of this nature? I need A, B, C, and D. Well, let's pretend I could give you A, B, C, and D. Suppose I could give you A, B, C, and D. What's going to happen next? What would you like to do? How do we move forward? Right? Make sense? Is there one more? I want to speak with a coach before investing my money. Oh, it's a good one. Joe, I'll let you handle it. Okay. That's before, let's say someone wants to hire me and you're my filter, right?
Sure.
And before they would hire me and they want to, so Joe, I want to speak with Dan before investing my money.
You want to speak directly with Dan?
Yep.
It's interesting. I'm curious. Dan, how often do you think I get those? Do you think I get this question actually?
Well, I mean, with Dan's social media, I'm sure you get it. I'm bombarded with messages like that.
Right, absolutely. And let me ask you this. If you're a realistic guy, you're a smart guy. Do you think Dan literally talks to every single person who messages him on social media?
Well, of course, no, of course not.
and
I know how expensive his time is.
Right. And by the way, if he was that accessible, if he was just talking to everyone, is he really that valuable, that important? Like, think about that.
No.
All right. And now, you're not just going to be working with Dan, right? You know that Dan's team, which is us, we basically, Dan picked us to help us with his company, correct?
Correct, of course.
Right. So like in essence, what I'm saying is, just direct. I just want you to be direct with me. Like, do you trust me? Do you trust my guidance? You trust my advice?
Yes, I do. I mean, you're Dan's director of sales, of course.
Right. And then also, like, why would Dan have me speak to you?
Correct.
Does he trust my intuition, right? My decision making. Okay. So if that's the case, then what else we need? Let's say Dan it's not on the table. The option to speak to Dan is not available. What would you need to make a decision today?
You know what? You're right. I think I'm just thinking too much. Let's move forward this.
All right. What card should we use?
Boom.
Boom.
So it's not that they want to speak with a certain person. It's just he needs a little bit of assurance. You see what I'm talking about? Like what they're asking usually it's not what it is. It's behind that. He just needs a little bit of like a little assurance, a little bit comfort, and then he would move forward. But when you try to explain too much this and that, just you see how Joe is asking question, how does it work? Yeah, like you see how it's very logical. Yeah, I know, I get it. Like then it's almost like, oh, I'm just being silly, right? And sometimes you when you ask questions, the prospect would come to the conclusion, yeah, you know what, I'm just you know, I forget what I said, right? They would know they're asking like silly stuff. They're asking silly stuff. All right, we have 2 more row. Otherwise, it's gonna be is it 5 hours already?
That's right.
My goodness.
5 hours.
All right. Let's
I think we're on track for another record.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Here we
Can't
go.
believe this. All right, here we go. Rule number 6. Walk away from the cell. Walk away from the cell. How many of you are getting tremendous value tonight? Always value capture, right? Write a number. What are you learning? How much is that worth to you? Not worth anything if you don't use it. Priceless if you use it. Worth 0 if you don't use it. Worth a lot if you use it. So walk away from the cell. Remember, we get a yes, we get a no, or we get a lesson. We get a lesson. So walk away from the sale is we sometimes want to pre-frame some of these things. So I'm going to give you some lines. I want you to practice with me. Okay? Say it with me together. First one. Would you do me a favor and tell me no up front if it appears that we're not going to do any business today? When was the last time you hear a salesperson, would you do me a favor and just tell me no up front if it appears that we will not do any business today? When the hell did you hear that? Right? Just it's okay to say. One of the things you could say is you hear when I do the role play, it's okay to say no. Yeah. And I don't want you to do this if you're not comfortable. You see, when you do that, you are not needy and you take the pressure off. You just completely take the pressure off. So it's okay. It's okay. But here's what's very interesting. Because the reverse psychology, when you tell people it's okay to say no, guess what? They don't want to say no. When you tell people you gotta say yes, they don't want to say yes. Did you get it? Right? When you tell people it's okay to say no, why do I want to say no? Well, if you're not comfortable with it, it's okay. No, I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable. Well, you probably want to spend. You don't want to spend that kind of money. It's not within you. I mean, there's no way in hell you just spend $15,000. You said you got scared. You don't want to spend another $10,000. No. I could spend another $10,000. Are you sure? You see how that works? When you give them the permission to say no, they don't want to say no. They want to say yes. You could also, during conversation, when they give you resistance, don't overdo it, but when they give you resistance, you could use, you heard that I said this multiple times, before I get off the phone. When was the last time you hear a salesperson tell you they want to get off the phone? Never. They want you on the phone. They want to keep you on, and you're like, oh my God, how the fuck do I hang up, right? How do I get myself in this situation? No. You tell them you might use this once if I'm getting resistance. So when I can't afford before I get off the phone. You notice during the role play, before I go. I value my time. If we're not gonna do business, I'm gonna say it. So then suddenly when you hear that as a prospect, right? Before I get off the phone, how do you feel as a prospect? Put in the chat. He's like, oh shit, yes. You feel pressure. You feel like, ooh, right? Urgency. Or am I losing something? Am I missing out? Like, don't go. That's right. Don't go. Don't hang up, right? You feel uncomfortable. Good. A closing call should never, ever be a pleasant experience for the prospect. And sometimes you could say with me, I get the feeling that we're not going to do business today. Have we finished? Hold on. Wait a fucking second. We're going to do some fucking business today. I'm going to prove to you I'm going to do some business. Here's my credit card. Right? We are going to do some business today. Just walk away. Just walk away. Now you gotta do it in a way that you cannot be needy about this though. You cannot be like needy. You can. I'll do it wrong. Okay, I'll do it wrong. Oh, how did I do it wrong? Fuck. Hold on a second. Well, I get a feeling that I don't think we're gonna do business today. Are we done? No. John, I just get the feeling that we're not going to do any business today. Am I wrong? Should we get off the phone? You hear the difference? Do that. Right? It's like, not attached. No big deal. Yeah. Not attached. That doesn't mean you don't care. There's a big difference. Because some of you're doing it wrong, that you come across you don't care. Okay? You care, but you're not attached. There's a difference. You always care, but you don't attach. You're not just you care about, okay, if we can do some business, I can help you. That's great. If we don't, that's fine. Like, you're not attached. You have the next call, you move on. Okay, there's plenty of money out there. There are a lot of sales out there. A lot of opportunities. Rule number 7. It is not over until I say it's over. It is not over until I say it's over. Meaning that you could say, before I get off the phone, you could do all of that and say, we're not going to do business today. And then you circle back. Okay? I'm going to do a quick demonstration, very quick. Joe, so let's get to the end. We're not going to do business.
Okay.
Right. So basically, I charge 10K. You only got 5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, how do I put this? I know as 10K, I just am only comfortable with investing 5K. So I don't think, I probably have to look for a different solution.
Yeah, I understand. And Joe, it's okay. We're not for everybody. And it doesn't sound like we're going to be doing business today. Before I get off the phone, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So remind me again, why did you book a call with us? Why did you call me in the first place?
Well, I mean, you came highly recommended. And also I did research and found that you guys were really, you really walk the talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And why is it important for you?
Well, I mean, it's important because we need results. It's just more than we're willing to invest at this time.
Okay. So, I mean, is the money the only thing that's stopping us from doing business?
Yeah, and unfortunately it is. And it's actually it's not me. It's actually what's given by the finance department, right? Like, I don't write the budget. I'm just given this budget, right? So maybe next quarter when I have an increase, we spent a lot of hours already this quarter.
Right. And this quarter you were telling me, but you mean this quarter you're doing very well, right?
No, and that's kind of why we're looking for the solution. But the problem is I almost want to say spent, but we wasted a lot of our budget on the wrong solutions, put it that way. That's kind of why we're only down to 5K now. And
if you were to have the right solution, what would happen?
Well, I mean, then the ROI would be, more than 200x. It's incredible.
So if you, like, hypothetically, if you're actually getting a positive return, does it really matter? I don't know. You tell me. But does it really matter? Is it a question of budget, or is it a question of return?
It's definitely not a question of return. It's like I said, like I'm just mandated by by what I have. I just only have this much. I mean, I guess I could go back and request more, but I would think the CFO would just say,
but you don't want to do that though, do you? To request more?
I just think it would just get pushed back unless I write a very good like proposal and evidence and reason and everything, like put together a report.
Yeah, I get it. Before I go, I have another appointment coming up in 5 minutes. I got to wrap this up. So, Joe, what if there's a way? I'm just brainstorming. So please, I'm not making any promises. Don't hold me to it. That I could brainstorm where with the 5K, we could get you started, kind of working first, right? Get some results.
Okay.
And then we are able to, let's say, defer the second payment for, I don't know, second or third month.
Well, that'd be fantastic because it would go into April. That would work really. I mean, I didn't want to ask you guys that because that was, that'd be fantastic.
I'm not saying that I could do it. I'm just saying, would that help?
Very much so because, first of all, we'll get the return on investment, right? To reinvest, and I can also get more budget next quarter.
Oh, man. Give me a moment. Let me think about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would be great because then it would save me from looking for more solutions again.
I might need to talk to my business partner. It's not something that we usually do.
It would be great if you could, and you could give me a call and let me know. Would greatly appreciate that. Well, in the meantime, if you could help with that, I would then help, put in like some sort of in writing for my team as well. I can put something together.
Now, Joe, if we could do this for you, first of all, can you promise me not to? This is if we are doing this, I'm offering this to you. This is like I cannot do it for anybody else. Please don't tell other people because I don't want my existing clients to find out. Then they'll be upset with me.
Oh, you have my word. I don't do that kind of stuff. So you have my word.
Can you also promise me one more thing? If we do produce results, that you will give us a great testimonial that we could use because I always appreciate that.
Yes, 100%. Then that will be a given because I mean, you help work with me, I'll work with you.
Let me think. I need a moment.
Yeah, this does mean a lot if we could pull this through.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I could. Let's pretend I was to say yes to your offer. What would you say to me?
I'm laughing right now. I that will save my department tremendously. And in fact, I could then, like I said, I'll immediately right after this call, I'll put it in writing and send it over immediately to the team.
Pause of the role play. It's not over until I say it's over. It's already over. I circle back to the conversation, go back to his needs, bring it up, bring up the needs. Who says a closer can say, let me think about it? Why is it only the prospect could say, I want to think about it. I want to fucking think about it if I want to take you on. Let me talk to my partner. I don't even know if I want this business. Why is it always the prospect putting us in defense? Let me think about it. I don't know. Let me think about it. This is where the confidence, I don't know, because in my mind, this client could be a pain in the ass. This client is like, this struggling with cash flow. I don't know if I want to take it on. Depends. I probably won't, right? But if I really want a business, well, you better not tell anybody else, and you better give me a good testimonial, man. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And this has nothing to do with I want a business, I don't want a business, it doesn't matter. Here's a good one. I'm going to go through these a little faster because I'll be able to wrap it up, right? Okay, so go ahead, Joe.
So yeah, kind of weird, but is there any chance I could get this for free and then just pay you after the work?
Well, Joe, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So you go to a restaurant and you eat some food and you tell the business owner and say, you know what, I'll see, I'll go home and see how I like the food and how I digest, and I'll pay you after. Is that what you do?
That sounds kind of silly, actually. No, No, yeah.
Like,
I
seriously,
mean,
what is it? What is the true issue here?
I think it's more about like a guarantee. Like I don't mind paying for it if we get results, just in case. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just more like in case something doesn't go to plan, at least I can get some reassurance.
Pause off the role play. When he says that, what do you say? Put in the chat. You should know by now. You should know. I've been training you. When Joe says that, what do you say? That's right. What kind of guarantee are you looking for? Right? What kind of guarantee are you looking for? That's it. We direct. You got it. You got it. Very good. Very good. This is gonna this is a good one. I love this one. So let's do it.
This one's great.
Ooh.
Dan, this is a weird question, but seriously, like why are you guys so cheap?
You know what, Joe? You're right. That's actually, you're so right. I should charge you more. How much more do you want to pay?
Boom. Sifu, this is funny. I gotta share. Like, you can ask the closer for our team. They get this a lot actually for HTC. It's funny.
Yeah, why is this? You're right. We should bump up the price. How much more?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. How much more you want to pay?
We'll just charge you more. No problem.
Yeah, no problem. We can do it. You can do it. Right. So those are the 7 rules. Put in the chat. What are some of the big takeaways you have from today's class? What are some of the ahas? Some of the big takeaways that you have? Redirection. Good. Confidence is key. It's okay to walk away. Right? SW formula. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Roll some balls. That's right. Okay, good. It's not over until I say it's over. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, freedom is not free. It's expensive. You bet. Very, very expensive. Gratitude, attitude equals unattached. That's correct. Solve the problem.